Have you ever stopped to think what really a belief system is, or when you settle down to spend the rest of your life with someone and you find out that their belief system is totally different from yours, and then again when the change in belief system leads to a loss of a child or a loss of a job or something as deep as that? Well, I'll leave you to ponder on this question while we go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll take the full details. Stay tuned. And on today's issue, we are going to be looking at a man named Ola who is at the success of his career, but then again is married to a woman who the mother-in-law has a very different belief system from what he thinks. And now Ola gets a message from the work that he has to go on a business trip for 2 weeks, and he's not comfortable leaving his wife and just his newborn baby with the mother-in-law because of her belief system. But then again, he just asked to go, and during the 2 weeks of his break, he had issues communicating with the wife, which kept him on a very rough edge. But the 2 weeks come to an end, and he came home to meet a very, very shocking news. One of his twins died, and the other one is still in pain because the mother-in-law was trying to do some incisions on the baby due to her belief system. Now Ola is a very, very big dilemma and is so confused on what to do. And today we're going to be meeting some resource persons who's going to be answering a lot of questions that we have one issue from this issue. I know you've faced some things like that, or you have seen people that are in a situation like this, so you have to stick with us and don't go nowhere or go back. Thank you.
Your belief system is a kind of cultural principles, religious principles that binds people together and makes them trust in what they believe, wherever they are, wherever they go. If it is cultural, it means this is the way we behave here, and this is what we believe. They tell the children or they tell the people in that place. For example, in a village or in the Yoruba setup, the cultural belief is that you must bow and respect the senior. You must lie down. But in our area here, you don't do that. You just say migo, and you are still standing. That kind of thing. So there are some people, they don't go to the bush because of this. And these days you don't go to don't go into marriage ceremony because of social date and all this kind of. Because if you do that, something will happen. These are cultural beliefs that binds a community or a kind of group of society. There are also religious beliefs, which we believe, and it differs between the Christians and the Muslims and the Buddhists and whatever it is. They have different beliefs. Yeah.
I'll come in this way. I'll come in as an African man and I was a Nigerian man. The belief system that we all know actually mostly has to do with culture. Okay. I would say culture is a way and a life for people. Okay. And I'm an Ishakiri now. For where I'm from, once you got a woman and she's your wife, she turns into an Ishakiri. She becomes an Ishakiri person. It means that as the head of your house, it works that way. It works that way in the sense that even your mother-in-law or your father-in-law comes to understand that your marriage to their daughter makes you an head over her, and not just over her, over the house she lives in.
To my understanding, the belief system is what has been passed over to another generation of what their parents or people used to do. In a belief system is where somebody, is used to a particular way of an attitude, a way of life. Maintaining that attitude that was being given to them, that they are by their parents, on a situation. So when we say belief system, we are looking at what we feel that is good for us at a particular time.
Okay, a belief system is a mindset.
Okay.
You know, something that people build over time, maybe out of experience or what they've read or the kind of learning they've had. A kind of a mind construct, something that makes you, helps you to guide your life. Actions that you want to take in life, such belief system, such mindset tend to, help you drift towards a particular direction. So basically, belief system is the mindset.
I think belief system has to do with culture, what we call culture in Africa. Because culture differs from one tribe to the other.
Well, first and foremost, there are cases where belief systems can be different, but there are core belief systems that can bring troubles to marriages. If peradventure they didn't discuss these things before they get married and they are married, I think also that it will not be right for you to impose your belief system on the other person, especially when it was not discussed, before people got married. So both parties can have different belief systems, but I always encourage that before people get married, they should be able to understand, their mind construct and their belief system. Because at the end of the day, when belief systems are in tandem, there seems to be more harmony in the marriage or relationship. But when they are far apart, it brings a kind of trouble. But I always suggest that you cannot impose your belief system on another person. Well, it might be difficult because, especially for an adult, belief system are things that you don't form overnight. Over the years, it's a kind of a mind construct. But I think there could be a way out. You communicate, you talk about things. And it's just like what the Bible says, faith cometh by hearing. As you keep asserting your position, as you keep talking about something, there is a chances that the person will change. You understand? So it's not something that will be done overnight. It has to be gradually through communication.
I think life is all about belief. Without belief, man will not exist. Man believes there is God, whatever pattern of God. Some believe that stone is their God, some believe wood is their God, but people like us believe there is an almighty God, and we know that He superintends the affairs of man. So now taking it to two human beings, maybe a couple, and both of them are coming from two paradigm places. This, for example, is a Muslim, one is a Christian. It's a belief system on its own. And they have consented that they want to be together. So at that point of consent, one person must also give way to the belief of the other person, because two captains cannot live in a house or in a boat. Can they pilot a boat? No. So one person must now decide that I'm going to follow the belief of the other person. Because you can't have a family where one person, is a Muslim, one is a Christian, and they are now saying, okay, what do we believe? Do we go Islamic or we go Christianity? A family that says, okay, you big son go to Islam, son go to Christian, you find out that in such families they don't come to compromise on certain things. Maybe in their own culture of religion, they observe Friday, and the other person on Sunday wants Sunday to be holy. So you find situations where two paradigms of religion or belief system come together. I think it's a very difficult thing. That's why the scripture says, don't be unequally yoked. Because belief systems are like yoke upon people's neck. Yeah? When you are equally yoked, maybe you have a tall cow and a short cow, what is going to happen? The short one will be dragging the tall one down, or the tall one will frustrate the short one down. You understand what I'm trying to say? So when two people like that are having such contradictory belief, it's difficult to put them together.
Well, I think if you come to marriage, from Igbo, the other person is from Shekiri or from Urobo, all these things have to come together. We have to marry these two things in a way. That is where caution comes in marriage. So that is, you should know, able to know the do's and the don'ts that is applicable to whom you want to marry, especially the man. And the man also should look at the do's and the don'ts that is coming from the woman's side. So two of you have to look at it and now come to a compromise. Well, you know that in life, even in the Bible, the man is the supreme if you come to marriage, and the woman is, same woman, is submissive to your husband. Alright? So those things will not break the marriage in the actual sense if they understand themselves. But whereby the woman now enters and become a tiger or become somebody that will be imposing something on the husband which the husband will not like, or his people, or the husband people will not like. I mean, it will not all go well. But if the two of them agree, it's okay, I will abide by whatever my husband culture is. Right? So if they accept it, if the woman will accept it, I think everything will go well.
Yeah, when, for example, if two of you have something to do in common, then you must spell out your beliefs so that you don't have too much problem. One has to bow to the other. For example, if you are coming to my house to stay, I must tell you what I believe in. I believe in this, I believe in that, I believe that things must be like this. And so if it differs, if you don't want to, you leave. For example, if you're going to some countries, they tell you this is what they believe. You don't bring in your belief through, they impose it on you. They crest it on you, whether you like it or not, so as to keep those values that have made them live all these years. So this imposition is allowed.
Well, like I said earlier, if the belief systems are so wide apart, I tell you that marriage will have issues. You understand? There could be minor things, that this is the way we do things. For example, my wife believes that it's not right for you to eat, then go and take your bath. While I believe that you should take your bath before you eat. Those are minor things that can be worked on. But there are complex things. For example, as a believer, let's assume that my wife does not believe in tithing, and I believe in tithing. It will then bring problem. So when the belief systems are far and wide apart, it will certainly bring problem. Except that through communication, through talk, one of them have to bend to the other.
Yeah, slight beliefs, okay? Yes, there is. For example, if two brethren, they principally believe in Christ, but there are certain things the other one is carrying into the home. Well, if it is not going to affect the salvation of that person, it could mix up and agree. But the truth is that the Bible says, can two work together except they agree? The agreement point of view is in their beliefs. It is better if they have the same belief and principles. But when they differ, they must have the effect in the home. Someday, sometimes. They must. Take for example, somebody married in Saple. That very day the marriage that was broken. What happened? The girl came into the house with her slippers, even to the bed. And the boy said, in my home, we don't do that. Pull off your slippers. The girl said, in my home, we wear slippers even to the bedroom. And we pull our slippers, only one want to go to the bed. That night, the marriage was broken. Belief system. So when it differs, it's you just have grace to adjust to it. Otherwise, it will affect them. Yes, the extent is when it will not affect the salvation of that person. If it will not affect your salvation, it's okay. Mere slippers issue, you can accommodate that. All right? Or mere, in my church we wear this kind of wears, and the other one say no, we don't do that. The Bible says the same church, the same spirit, but different administration. When it comes to an area where it has to be administrative, you can accept it. But when the belief is going contrary to the main principle given by Christ, then you have to stop it, because it's going to affect your salvation.
If I look at the story that is being put forward, it shows that the belief is not just on the mother-in-law, because the daughter herself, she's an illiterate. She can go to such, because by education, there are some belief systems that we know that are becoming a cake, and we do away with them. For example, you see, we talk about female genital mutilation. It's no longer in vogue. It was a belief system before. Every belief system that contravenes natural laws now, or scriptural laws, you have to do away with them. But the daughter, to me, is the problem, because I don't see my mother coming to my house because I have children and want to help me. And you now come to tell me I must circumcise my child, and I will not say anything, no. Because the woman is coming from a belief system of a past generation, like I told you. The way they do a thing is the belief. And she may be taught, maybe the incision they are to put on the child, like they say in those days, it differentiates one tribe from another, because at that point, they are always found of being in the bush. So when your tribesman sees you in the bush, he will take you that you are a friend, a king's person. He will not harm you. That was the reason why incisions are being put on people, to make them so that they will be protected by their people. But now it's no longer necessary. What I'm saying is that times and seasons have changed. So you don't allow an archaic belief to be imposed on the modern day life. Like in the time of war, you have incision on you, and we know that this is like the jeopardy mark now. They have like this massive antelope just attacked, that kind of mark. And they are really looking for the jeopardy people. Sure, you sold yourself without talking. You get what I'm saying? You just sold yourself without talking. So all those marks, they are not necessary. Apart from the fact that it defaces our faces, they are not necessary for us. I think the original reason they didn't make it because they want to make us beautiful. I'm not sure. They had their archaic reasons, but it's no longer applicable. What is no longer applicable should be done away with it. I think that's where I'm going.
The consequence is that one, like we've seen one, the guy bleeded to death. Another one is that it deforms, that the Yorubas, they have this kind of incision they put on their face before, but now I think they have removed that system. It deforms the person. They find that there's no need, although they use it for identification reasons. But they find out now, the young ones have found out that there's no need for that, because it deforms them. Really, it's kind of a deformative mark. So that kind of incision is bad. There are some, why insisting giving the person incision? It may have contamination. For example, tetanus and other diseases that go through incisions. And sometimes, if you apply that incision on a vein, the person can be paralyzed. So incisions are not good. Sometimes some demons are passed into people's body through incisions. When somebody is giving incision and is relating it to divinity, and he puts it there, you don't know, you're going to have some foreign dreams and funny dreams anyway. And you don't know where it's coming from. It's not from your system. It's foreign and it's very funny. So all this kind of thing, people have not known where some of these demons pass into their body through incisions.
Well, from two angles, from the spiritual angle as a pastor, it can lead to initiation of that child. That is one. Then physically, it can disfigure that child. Then also, on the medical side, it can also open a space for infection to enter that baby. So it has so many negative consequences.
Let me give a biblical example. Like in the Bible, when we talk of Methuselah, in the Bible, the oldest person you can talk of. Then compare it with the wisdom of King Solomon. Which one was better? Solomon was better. So old age of Methuselah has nothing to do with the wisdom of King Solomon. You understand? So they may be old. There are some people that are old, but they grew up in town. Yeah. They don't know most of the culture. They don't know anything. Most of the things. That is in the coast. You have nannies and so on and so forth. When the woman, especially if they work a class time, goes to work in the morning and only to come back and have a baby. Then whatever that has taken place in her absence, she won't be able to know. So the same thing also is applicable in the village. Yeah. There are some women in the village, or mothers in the village that never even step out of the village to go to township and know the modern things, how things are being done. You understand? So it's not in every case that we have to say this woman has more experience than the younger one that just came up or something like that.
Well, I always say that age does not confer wisdom on people. There's a common belief in this part of the world that once you are married or once you are old, you are full of wisdom. But it's a lie. I have seen younger persons who are not married, who when you sit with them, they're able to inspire you. They're able to talk, things that will be able to, encourage and challenge you. So age does not confer on you the right to mentor person or the right to be an authority over a person. What I tell people is that when you're looking out for somebody who should be an authority figure over you, one, he should be able to inspire you. He should be able to challenge you, understand? And the person should be able to encourage you. So by and large, age has nothing to do. If these indices are out of it, then age becomes inconsequential.
Okay.
Yes, to some extent. But to some extent, no. Because you see the younger ones, when you are at the age of accountability, you don't guide them. For example, when somebody is about 30 years old and is in your house, ought to be out from your house since 21. I have one like that in my house. I don't say this is when you pray. She prays at her own time. If you go to my house and she's still praying since 9 o'clock, I won't say stop that. You are in my no. The only thing I did is I drove her from my prayer room so I can have some time in the prayer, so she prays in my parlor. So for me to put such a person under subjection, she can say, okay, all right, I have my own right, and that is the truth. At a certain age, you are accountable to your decisions. I must know that. I remember when I was dealing with my children, when they were young, at a certain age, God said to me, this is not that child you said sit down, you sit down any longer. You understand? If it does not relate with people, how will she have a pattern? And I allow them to relate with people. No more sit down, you must tell me when you're going. You must tell me where you're going to. This kind of authority over the younger ones should not be stern, but you can still have a system you place to control them, and that is the word of God. You place that word in them, it goes on ruling them and ruling their minds wherever they go to. When they are at school, we are not there. Are we there? We're not there to see them. But the word of God you've placed, the seed you placed in their heart, guides them wherever they go to. No, because you see the effect now. A child is lost. He has just lost a child. If he has not done that, so you can see as stupidity have made them lose that child. And so they have it over and over. In those days, they used to tell us some children are dying because some spirits are over them. But we now discover that, what do you call this blood group? Someone is AS and one is SS. We've discovered that it's not witch killing them. It's not that they lack understanding and lack knowledge. We've discovered that when your daughter wants to marry a man, you must get it clear. Or somebody in your church wants to marry to, you must find out what blood group they belong to. If they are AS, we don't allow it. Because tomorrow they'll be saying these children are dying because there was an attack. It's all ignorance. So you find that because somebody is elderly coming into your house will now rule you. No, my father knew that he will just tell you, this child, I'm only his father. But when it comes to things about God, no, I don't rule over him. He rules over me. That's the truth. My father, before he died. And so when I took over now, I'm the head of the family. They said, your papa really said you are something else. A dowser don't spoil your head. No, it wasn't a dowser really. It was Christ that made me have an edge over them. You understand? Jesus was talking to the professors. They said, wonderful. This thing is coming from somewhere else. You are just 12 years talking to professors. And the professors were dumbfounded. And they gave glory to God anyway. This is not ordinary. This must be an authority that is from above. And so when the authority of God is upon you, you can even be pastoring your father in the church. And he'll be calling you daddy.
No, I don't think so. The mother, being older than them, which is of course because she's the mother, she gave birth to them. She does not mean that she's more knowledgeable in those things. I can put it to you that there is a family, the mother came to take care of a child, and while bathing that child, she used soap to rub the face of the child, and to her that's how the position, mind you, when she had her own children, people were doing it for her. But you know, like we talk of culture and this thing, we delve into it without really understanding. We just feel that age has given us knowledge of a thing. Sometimes it's not. So she was beating the child, carrying the child's head like this, and so got into the nostril of the child, and the child died in her very hand. You ask, did she not have a child? Yes, but at the point she was giving birth, people were helping to bathe her own children. But she did not go for the training. That is what the problem with Africa. We just feel that, you know, when, like cooking, you just, when they clap your hand with salt, the soup is ready because you saw your mother doing it. But you do not go and ask her, mommy, how do you do it? We don't go to the details, and that is the arm. So when an older person is living with you, or for example, coming to take care of, you know, situations maybe like delivery, don't assume that your mother knows it all. My own mother, when I go to bed, just said she doesn't know how to take care of baby, that she has never done it. She's been, all her children, people took care of her. When the child is a toddler, she can, but at that point, she cannot. And do you know who took care of my children? My elder sister. That went for training for it. Are you getting it? So she knows what to do to a child at and when. While my mother cannot do it. So age is not a guarantee. Now what is being imposed on you is a right decision. They could be doing it in ignorance and not because it is right.